What? They have a good goal song. Their long runs have me getting used to it, but it's crazy. So anyway, a day late, but not a dollar short. The Oilers, they're back in. Seventh straight year for them. They've made the playoffs every year this decade, but as usual, much like the last 2 years, they have questions. It's crazy. They've had questions the last 2 years, yet they made the final both times. Fascinating, isn't it? So yeah, they have moving questions. So what are they this year? Well, Draisaitl is either going to be back for the playoffs or not. Because the story I originally heard was he's out for the regular season, which is true. But it was no, well, not a foregone conclusion, but it was an assurance that he'd be back for game one. Now I'm hearing he may not be back for game one. And the way they're talking, he could be out for game one, maybe game two. I don't know. But when they begin their official defense of their back-to-back conference championships, their 29 may not be there to start. It's crazy. Now they've stayed afloat so far, but then again they're in a bad Pacific Division. So I don't know. I've long stopped trying to figure out these Edmonton Oilers. Uh, Pretty much last year, because each of the last 2 years I've said something's gonna go wrong with them. They're gonna fuck it up somehow, and lo and behold, they come within either one win or two wins of the Stanley Cup. It's crazy, but I don't. I really don't. It's gonna be very interesting. It's gonna be very interesting to see what happens with the Oilers. And speaking of interesting, I have to reiterate this: the Oilers clinched their spot yesterday on Saturday, April 11th. They lost to the Kings, but they got in because the Jets lost. So yeah, they got in yesterday. Someone else from the West got in too, and they also make things interesting. Well, they're back in. Eighth time in their 9 year history. The Vegas Golden Knights clinched. Even worse, they did it through us. Uh, Overtime with they had a couple ways in, but things fell short. So it reached a point where they only needed a win. That they had to win to get in. And the game against us ended up going to overtime, tied at two, and Jack Eichel put it in, and that was it. Of course, it was the first of the Avs' final 4 games of the season. We didn't really need it, but we still got a point anyway, which is good progress on our side. But as for Vegas, they're back in. You know, Vegas, they are the shadiest team I've ever seen. I've watched the Patriots and the Chiefs and the Astros. Uh, Look at the shit they've pulled in the last 3 years. Pretty much after they won, it was the LTIR crap each of the last 2 years. Now this year, what do? They conveniently fire Bruce Cassidy. With this much left of the season, and they hired John Tortorella. My goodness. And they always post some crazy shit. Now, they're in the playoffs, but what are they going to do with it? They're in a bad division. They're in a bad division. They may win said bad division, but the Vegas Golden Knights have so many problems, they might be knocked out in round one. I mean, especially it would really be something if Utah beats the Golden Knights out. That would really be something. I'll laugh my ass off if that happens. But we'll see what happens out of line. Like I said, they may not win the division. Because it's still pretty close. It's bad, but it's close. You have Vegas, Edmonton, and Anaheim all jockeying for position in that division. I think the Kings are still somehow alive in that division, but if they don't win the division, they could be looking at facing either Edmonton or Anaheim or maybe LA if they move into the top three in round one. So it's going to be an interesting final now 4 days because this day's over. It's going to be interesting now final 4 days in that Pacific Division. But hey, Vegas is in, Edmonton's in. They clinched their spots on Saturday, and both teams are jockeying for positioning, at least home ice in round one. Maybe one of them's going to look to finish first in that Pacific. Should be very interesting to see what happens. But anyway, Vegas is in, Edmonton's in, and now that leaves two spots left in the West, and 3 overall because there's 1 left in the East. So the next few days will be a journey. So that is my video. That's my video about the Oilers and Golden Knights being in. If you like this video, click the like button. If you're on YouTube, click subscribe if you want more. If you're on TikTok and Instagram, feel free to hit that follow button. And you saw the stories on the pictures. It's stories about the Oilers clinching and the Vegas Golden Knights clinching. Check them out when you can. And there will be clinches between now and the end of the regular season. And when those happen, I will discuss them on video. So stay tuned for that.